Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent readings. Thank you so much for joining me for today's timeless pick a card reading. I'll call it a super mini reading. Yeah, let's give that a try. But anyway, it's going to be one on what is being hidden from you and why. And so, firstly, I want to thank all of you for supporting my channel, for the views, comments. I really appreciate you. And yeah, let's select a pile. So I have three piles to choose from. Pile one is this card. I haven't looked at them yet either, so pile one, pile two, and pile three. And of course, I'm gonna have these options frozen. If you need some more time, pause the video now to go ahead and select your pile, which you can find in the description, but otherwise I'll see you at your reading. Hi pile one, if you chose this card, this is going to be your reading on what's being hidden from you and why. This card actually represents why this is being hidden from you, so I'm going to leave it to the side for now, and we're going to take a look at what it is, what's being hidden from you. Okay, so I'll just do these four cards for now, and I'll probably clarify them. But we have the Queen of Cups, Justice, Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. Queen of Cups. This feels more like a realization than anything else. Part of it is the balance of all things. Part of it is what's being hidden is your influence on the physical outcomes of your journey on this earth, really. What's also being hidden is the infinite ways of not just achieving success, but more in finding satisfaction in your day-to-day. So kind of finding happiness doesn't have to be an obstacle course, really. And the more that you clear the heart space, the heart chakra, and all of the things that could be potentially blocking you from seeing, it's like having a cloud in a pair of sunglasses or something, where it's the flow of abundance is being blocked, and that's kind of what's being hidden is your own power in a way. I'm seeing the this is an interesting twist on the Justice card, as it relates strongly to the Strength card, which is switched with the Thoth deck. So I think there's a pretty cool nod to that. Also notice the pillars there as well. The sword is down, but then next to it is the Ace of Swords, and if we could see these really close, you know, the sword could be something that's wielded against somebody as a defensive weapon, but also as a tool for directing others. And look, I was gonna get some more cards, but there's a contrast between these two. Between your comfort zone, which is mostly in solitude, and something that might be a little uncomfortable but also brings a lot of reward. And I think while you might feel the need to be isolated, to focus on, I think mostly it feels like not only channeling wisdom but making money from that wisdom that's being channeled. And I think that's been a bit of a conflict for this pile. But it's like the more you understand your own cup, the easier it will be to attract the right people towards you, and the amount of, again, abundance towards you with ease. Like, it's not supposed to be that taxing. It's not supposed to take that much work. And I think that's being hidden. I think the way in which you receive, I mean, for some of you it might be a partnership, but I'm really feeling more of a satisfying career that's just felt just out of reach. We have the Empress underneath the Justice card. And yeah, with the Empress card and the Queen of Cups, I see that as these two go hand in hand, right? And I think part of your gift, part of your ability is in being fair and honest and leading with the heart, despite having a sharp mind, a sharp way of kind of cutting through the BS with your tongue, but also your mind, because I think a lot of people in this pile would be claircognizant, where you just know the truth. But even with that knowing, you allow people to kind of fall on their face on their own and still treat them with compassion. I think part of what's being hidden is what you have to offer. We do see the 8 of Cups in reverse, which it really wanted to come out in reverse, so I'm going to leave it like that. In the 5 of Cups. So what it feels like is an unwillingness, like in a Chariot, I was going to say, to leave a certain situation or a certain person, that there is, I think that's probably what's being hidden. If you're trying to move forward with something or towards something, there's this part of you, I'm imagining a card, a different 8 of Cups card, where the main figure is walking away from the 8 Cups, but their shadow is still connected to the cups. So I think at a subconscious level, or the subconscious level, you're still attached to something or someone that you know isn't good for you, but it's really hard to let go of that. I'm imagining kind of like a sword that pierces the skin and it's kind of stuck on someone's body, and you have to yank it out physically, and it's uncomfortable, and maybe for some of you that pain is what's you're afraid of. You're afraid of actually truly leaving something behind. And what's hidden from you really is the other opportunities, all the other people, all of the other so if this is a job and it's paying it's playing well, but your heart isn't satisfied, I think you're being led away naturally. But you also want to avoid conflict. I think this is a big thing with this pile. Like, you don't want to cause unnecessary drama. But what's happening is that drama that's not being brought into the light on the external world with other people is being brought into yourself, into your heart, and that's just as burdensome potentially as confronting someone, except it's just yourself, and you're creating unnecessary heartache, unnecessary resistance, when in reality your freedom would come with a lot of benefits. It would come with a lot of new opportunities, new people, and it's already there. It's just waiting. There's it's like a traffic jam. Well, no, it's not like a traffic jam. Well, I guess having a coffee or something, this coffee is stale, it's old, it's cold, and it's been sitting there for a while. I want more coffee. I was like, well, I need to take your cup and empty it and rinse it. And you're like, no. I'm going to keep the stale coffee. Just bring me another one. It's like, well, we only have so many glasses, so you're going to need to empty that out. And you're like, no. That's kind of what's happening here, especially with these cards, with all of these cups. I'd say that's the main part, right? The main part is your heart is guiding you away towards what feels like an empty space, empty solitude. But really, the sea is very large, and there is a little bit of distance to be traveled alone before finding, look at this tribe, really, but also recognition, abundance again. But the journey feels alone, and I think part of it is I said at the beginning that you'd rather be alone, but there's also this fear of, well, I don't always want to be alone. That I don't want that to be my life. And I think the knowing and the leap of faith that's required of well, even if I might be alone, I can't be with this energy, I can't be with this situation because it's not satisfying. And that unwillingness to let go again is what's keeping you from moving forward in a more a path of even greater alignment. The reason why this is being hidden from you, what's with all these fish? What is happening? What is this? Like, these are all shuffled. Not only, okay, so the Oracle deck is shuffled, right? But then we get this card with the Ten of Cups, a bunch of fish over here, and then the card that you chose is Fly Fisher, so this guy is fishing, right? And then we have the Kingfisher. This bird caught a fish, and then there's another fish there being reeled in. So it says, lure, awaiting a resilient tool's reward, realizing a revered skill with Fly Fisher, and then Kingfisher is imagining a fleeting wealth. So part of it is like your ability to get things. I mean, again, this could be a partnership, but it feels more of an opportunity. It's like, if I let what I have go now, I'm not going to be able to not only reel in an opportunity, but see it. And I think that fear of not being able to recognize when to go, where to go, is the reason why this is hidden. It's like Spirit and the universe want to push you, to empower you to trust in yourself and trust in your ability to navigate unforeseen circumstances, to take a chance. And really, I think the biggest thing is to set a higher standard for yourself. Once you set that standard, I think the universe will follow suit and say, okay, well, this level of quality is not gonna cut it for this person, and so let's step it up a little bit and see if they notice it. And I think that's kind of what the next phase is going to be about for you. And I think with Fly Fisher, realizing a revered skill, which is the card you chose, that skill is your magnetism, your ability to attract the bait, again, with lore being here. And that bait is your energy. It's things that are in alignment with you will come to you. And I think that's when you'll find your soul tribe. I think that's when you'll find the financial abundance that you've been wanting. And not only that, but a lifestyle that goes with who you are at a very deep level. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading there. It's 4 a.m., so... but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments. I read all of them. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading on what is hidden from you and why. This card says drowning, anticipating a costly affliction's anchor. We're going to leave this to the side because this is actually why this thing is being hidden from you. So let's take a look at what that is first. What is being hidden from you? I actually, let me just show you Pile 1's card again, side by side, because you probably noticed that these two are very closely related to each other. So if you were drawn to both of them, I think it would make sense, but let's just continue with this first. The Fool, the 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Wands, and the Devil. Well, I guess that makes sense with the drowning card. I think I'm just gonna do another row straight away, and then I'll show all these to you, because I think this pile feels very stuck, and I think what's hidden is just how free you really are. That you could just make things happen, that you could just go. It's actually very easy for you to go, but it's, I mean, in a similar sense to pile 1, which I guess is why they were both very closely related, but we do have the Fool card here, which is I think you prefer feeling light, as little baggage as possible. And it's interesting because the Drowning card has an anchor to it, and that anchor is all you feel. You definitely feel the weight of again, a circumstance, something pulling you down, and that's where the Devil card comes in. Just feeling chained and unable to move. But what you don't see is that you have the tools with the Magician and the Fool to get out. And another thing that you don't see is your intuition. Not to say it's blocked, it isn't blocked, but you just don't believe it. I think because maybe you've been stuck for so long that it's just like, it can't be that easy. It has to be hard to get out because I've been here for so long. With the 7 of Cups in reverse, it's just not seeing all of the available options. But the Ace of Wands shows that just follow those impulses, and this goes very closely with the Fool as well. That's not to say, I don't want to say that it's easy. I mean, it takes work, but that work isn't noticeable when you're moving with a certain energy, a certain momentum, and a passion that follows suit. And really, it's easy to say follow your passion. It takes a lot of work and energy to have faith in where you're going when you don't know where you're going, which is the High Priestess in reverse, and also the 2 of Wands, which is actually a card that's in the dark, which usually it isn't. So maybe that's when you find most of your clarity, especially with the stars being here. The stars are very prominent in this card, so I'm kind of feeling like this pile connects to the stars and seeks guidance from the light from distant planets, because I think for this pile you might feel very much trapped on Earth. Like, Earth is such a tedious place to be in. All this physicality, well, not that that's bad in itself, but with commercials, with people trying to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, what you're supposed to do, where you should be, the cost of living can be astronomical depending on where you are. With this Devil card, though, it says that you don't really have to bind yourself to anybody or any situation that you don't want to, because again, if this 7 of Cups were upright, you'd see that there's a lot of different ways of attracting resources and abundance, and you have that plenty of it. The thing is, I want to get one more card for the Fool and the Magician, because this is very strong energy here. The King of Wands, right? So this Ace of Wands is the key, and King of Wands, which is again really following the passion, but using it in a way that benefits a lot of people. And so if you could find a way to use a skill, something that you are already inclined to do, or just have a curiosity in doing, and how you could help the masses and not just yourself, the more you think of the skills and abilities you already have and how they could benefit more than yourself, the more likely it is that luck will flow towards you. Because also the Devil energy can be considered selfish energy. That's not to say you're selfish, but if really the only thing you're considering is getting yourself out of a situation, as opposed to like just that mindset shift of Maybe just saying, oh, I'm stuck, I won't be able to grow if I'm here with so and so, as opposed to maybe the world is missing out. And it sounds egotistic, but like, if I was free, I could help out a lot of other people. And just that switch of, well, what can I do to reach this mass audience, to spread my wings and help other people spread their wings. Because I think part of your journey has to do with freeing yourself. This is the freedom pile with King of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Magician, blossoming out of the darkness into the light from the soil, to the sky, that sort of thing, of letting a little loose, letting yourself loose in a lot of ways, showing more of yourself to the world. And I think you know how to do that, but there's a lot of hesitancy. The mind is kind of getting in the way sometimes. Let's see why this is hidden from you. Why is your own power being hidden from you? Perceiving an authentic unknown with the forest. Truffle hog. Appreciating a close companion's generosity. And game warden, protecting a responsible intent. It kind of feels like it's not being hidden from you as much as you're hiding it from other people, out of fear that somehow they'd get in the way. And once again, you recognize the power that you have, you won't be afraid of other people interfering, when in reality, whatever obstacles come in your way, when you have that confidence of being able to just ram right through it, then you won't feel the need to keep a secret or hide yourself in any way. I'm not getting those cards on the floor, so we're gonna stick with this. And it says benevolence, kindness. This is a very strong, I guess this whole reading, I don't plan the decks that I choose. I just kind of end up here, and I didn't realize how much nature there was. So I think you're very connected to the trees. Notice all the branches, all of the greenery. I think connecting to that makes you feel free, and the more that you could spend time outside, but also, I don't know, there's something about a skill that you have that has to do with being outside, and the more time you could spend, even if it's a couple minutes or hopefully at least an hour a day being outside, I think the ideas and the possibilities will kind of magically open up for you. At least the ideas will open up to you. It's up to this King of Wands energy to take action. And it's planning, it's discipline with the Magician also, but also spontaneity. And it's finding that balance of the three things that'll get you out into the world, into the woods, maybe for some of you. Out of a cycle of codependency and of needing endless products to get by when they're not really necessary, especially the infinite subscriptions that there are, anything to kind of get a little bit of money from you. And I think also that discipline will help you realize just how much you actually have. So maybe cutting some of those expenses, cutting some of those subscriptions, boxes, Hulu. I don't know who uses Disney Plus, but I don't think it's worth it because they don't really have any good content anyway. But I'm not gonna throw shade. I'm just saying, like, wherever you can cut corners there, that'll, as above so below, it'll, energetically speaking, you're freeing up space. And that freedom will release the anchor that was in the beginning of this reading. It'll release that very real sense of weight that is keeping you underground and in the rat race, because I know this pile doesn't want anything to do with that anymore. So set your sights higher, let these things go like the Fool would. Pack lightly, energetically, clear as much as you can, and do it often. And you might be surprised how easy it is to break free. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. And take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading on what's being hidden from you. And this card actually represents why this thing is being hidden from you. So it says, Chicken of the Woods, welcoming a powerful I don't know, let me do that again. Welcoming a powerful animal's, why am I saying that weird? What's going on? Animal. Welcoming a powerful animal's identity. It's just a weird sentence, I guess, but here you go. Again, there's kind of like the fungus growing in the tree. We'll get to this later because it, again, represents why this is being hidden from you, but let's see what it is first, and then go back to that a little bit later. Alright, so we have the Nine of Swords, the King of Wands, the Star, and then the Knight of Swords. I mean, what I'm getting at is you don't have to do it alone. I think there's potentially a partner, a friend, or someone you could reach out to help you accomplish whatever this star card means to you, whatever dream you think feels unattainable. But really all of these stars are chakras, and all of those chakras are within you. And so maybe it's kind of suggesting potentially chakra alignment, chakra clearing, and incorporating that into or as a regular practice, because maybe just something like that, just the attention to these energy spheres within you would brighten them, make them bigger and clear, and maybe that's all you need for some of you, and this is influencing your thought processes. We have the Nine of Cups underneath the Nine of Swords, so that's interesting. The Strength card underneath the King of Wands, the Temperance underneath the Star, and Eight of Wands, or Eight of Swords in reverse underneath the Knight of Swords. So yeah, I think part of this is overcoming your own limiting beliefs with ease, I'd say. Nine of Cups, trusting in yourself, recognizing your own strength that's always been there, but is constantly evolving. And by that I mean like the quickness of manifestation, of asking a question to the universe, to your guides, and receiving a response. It's like that becomes a lot quicker. In a way, that's how like a king or queen would be. Like they would delegate responsibilities, and immediately the governing bodies or whatever would start implementing those laws or rules. And that's kind of what is possible for you. It might not seem that way for now, because the Nine of Swords again being there, and the Knight of Swords being there. So maybe you might find yourself surrounded by people who just won't listen, or are kind of shut down and in their own little world, as opposed to seeing a bigger picture like you do. I think you're very capable of seeing a big picture, kind of like a star is able to see large areas of the earth. I think with the Temperance card, though, is having patience with those people around that can't see in the way that you see, and also patience with not only, again, with Temperance and the Star being there, it's kind of like a hint of that balancing that's was hinted at in the beginning with the chakras energy, physical and spiritual work. But also in your influence, in your, as I said, like strength, your fire is changing, and it's kind of like having a microphone where you're getting upgrades and the mic gets louder and it could go further, and the sound quality is better, and so you could imagine like speaking to your guides or to the universe, making requests, if you will, praying that the sound, it's not that the universe doesn't hear you, it's just the sound is muffled. And I think that would have to do with not only your mind being clear, but also, again, your energetic body. And so what's being hidden is just how close you are to having this level of mastery. And it really doesn't take that much. It's just like as simple as like a daily cleaning, or intensifying that cleaning. So but it just feels like getting rid of this clutter and allowing yourself to blossom naturally. You're already, with this card, Chicken of the Woods, welcoming a powerful what is that? Animal's identity. Blossoming naturally. It's right there. The growth is there already. And it kind of reminds me of the Temperance, where sometimes you don't notice the flower that's blossoming until it's already completely open. And so part of this feels like you're opening up to yourself, and people will kind of naturally be drawn to it. I also think that it might be easier for others to listen to what you have to say once you're in full bloom, if you will. So until then, if you're feeling ignored, I think it's just time and patience, which could be difficult if you consider yourself to be a very fast-moving energy like the Swords wants to be. But the Swords can be dangerous if it's just flying recklessly, and if these thoughts aren't directed towards positivity, it could easily spiral into something negative, and that negativity will not allow you to blossom as quickly. It's just going to slow you down even more, which is not what we want, I don't think. Let's see why this is being hidden, but I don't know if I want to focus too much on that, on why. But let's get enjoying a homestead's reward. Yeah, it's kind of like you'll be able to say you did this for yourself, I mean, with the help of the universe, but you don't have to. And I think that's kind of why I mentioned at the beginning that you might have a guide, someone around you who's capable of helping you, able to help you, willing to help you, because it might help make this manifestation a reality a lot quicker. But if you don't want their help, you also get the luxury of saying, I did this 100% on my own. The only drawback is that it's going to take longer. And so that's something you'd have to work out for yourself. An easy example would be a small business. There we go. Yeah, if you were to make your own business on your own, it might take longer to get I don't know, like sponsorships or something, or a website built, or if there's programming involved, but you don't know how to program, you'd have to learn from scratch, and that would take time, as opposed to just finding someone, like outsourcing that work. But at the same time, that would cost money. So there's these, discernment. There's these choices to be made. It's not like one's completely right or completely wrong. They're just changing the trajectory, and really your own responsibility. So what do you want to focus on a little bit more? What's more important to you? But it's not to say that one's wrong or right. The only thing here is that I'm seeing, and again, this is something that's coming up with the Nine of Swords that, was up here first with Mars, that challenging energy, and then that's showing up with these two cards as well, Turmoil and Challenge. And I think these are your own opposing forces. And you'll notice that even with the Oracle cards, this is how it showed up, by the way, like this. So this justice-like figure is in the middle. We have the red energy over here with fire, the water over here. They're both turbulent. They're both kind of, they want to be heard or whatever. But they both have their place. It's just like when the fire's calm, you could easily light other things on fire, control that flame. When the water is calm, you're able to see where you're going, maybe create a current so that movement is smoother. And so part of this temperance is also in delegating. Well, not I keep saying delegating. What the hell is that about? Well, I guess maybe if again, you're meant to lead, and it's very easy for you to make these decisions. And so part of this might be that you're surrounded by indecisive people. Oh, what a burden that is. I think I've mentioned it before, where you're out with friends and then it's like, oh, I don't know if I want this or that, and then you decide, and then they add more options. That's one of those things that grinds my gears. It's like, I already chose. Why are you complicating it? But there's just people like that. They're just, it's a curse for them. Just drag that out. But I think also part of that is something that you're finding within yourself too, is things popping up unnecessarily, and maybe that's what's driving you to be a little more independent. And it's like, I don't know if I want to outsource anything, because God forbid that person just adds more options and more packages and deluxe this and upgrade that, and that's just gonna overwhelm you and almost slow you down from achieving your goal, from moving quickly and swiftly. The thing is that, again, sometimes you need some of those I guess measurements in place. Those it's like the structure of I'll just keep with the programming example, as like when you have that code set out, you already have a template, and then once that template is done, you can edit it after, but it takes time creating the blueprint. The same thing I guess would go for a workout program. Like, it takes time to make a program, but then you could tweak it maybe every couple of weeks and change like the rep range, or switch the rest intervals, or add supersets just to kind of again tweak it according to how your body's feeling. And that level of control is something that's hidden from you. That you already have that kind of control in this environment, in this situation, and in yourself. And the more closely you could kind of look at that and turn the knobs and be more aware of the energy that's within you, the influences in your physical environment and in your mind, and constantly tweaking, at some point you'll really get to this level of mastery. And then from this point, the star will just reveal itself, and it's like, oh, maybe this dream that I thought was far out is actually attainable. And at that point, I think it gets a lot easier. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take care.